Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to try to make some videos about this last test so that some of you, maybe if you weren't here in class or you didn't see what we were doing, um, or if you just need a little bit more explanation, then hopefully these videos can help you with that. So these may not be the particular order that you had for your test, but it should be similar type questions. So number one says, the directions say to translate the verbal phrase into a mathematical expression and use x to represent the unknown number. So number one says a number, which would be x, divided by 47. A number divided by 47, looks like that would be D. So your answer would be D for number one. Now number two and number three is where people started having some trouble. It says the product of 4 and 4 less than a number. Well, product means to multiply. So there's a word that you should know. So I'm going to multiply. What am I going to multiply? 4 and then 4 less than a number. We talked about in class that the words less than and more than mean that they're in the opposite order. It's kind of written backwards than how you read it. So 4 less than a number is x minus 4. So 4 and the product of 4 and 4 less than a number would be x minus 4. So 4 times x minus 4, there's the answer right there. A lot of people put 4 minus x for 4 less than a number, but 4 less than a number is x minus 4. That would be B. Number 3, the product of 3 more than a number. So again, that's written backwards of how you read it. 3 more than a number would be x plus 3. The product of means times. 2 less than the number would be x minus 2. So x plus 3 times x minus 2 would be D, would be my answer there. All right, let's look at a few more. 4, 5, and 6. Now, there are some questions about what these things meant, these semicolons. And I know we practiced some the day before, but some people didn't ask, I think, what they meant. So this says use the variable x for the unknown and write an equation representing the verbal sentence. Then solve the problem. What's after the x is what you get if you were to solve the problem. All right, number 4 says 4 times a number added to 8 times a number equals 36. So if I'm going to add 4 times a number to 8 times a number, means I'd start with 8x, I'd add 4x, and it equals 36. So 8x plus 4x equals 36. My answer has to be A. Let's just make sure that I would get 3 if I were to solve this. 8x plus 4x is 12x is 36. Divide by 12. I get that x is 3. So that is correct. My answer for 4 would be A. 5 says when 4 times a number is subtracted from 7 times a number, remember subtracted from, again, you're going to have to start with 7x and then subtract 4x from that. You got to have something to subtract from if you're going to subtract it from a number. So when 4x is subtracted from 7x, the result is 27. So 7x minus 4x equals 27 would be C. Let's just make sure we get 9 if we were to solve it. 3x equals 27. Divide by 3, I get that x is equal to 9. Number 6, if 5 times a number is added to negative 6, which I don't like, but the only one that shows 5 times a number added to negative 6 is B. It's kind of written backwards, I think, but with addition it doesn't matter. Subtraction, you'd have to have it in this order to get the right answer, but so 5 times a number, we're going to add negative 6 to that. When negative 6 is added to 5 times a number is how I would say it, instead of 5 times the number added to negative 6. But the result is 11 times the number. So that has to be 5x plus negative 6 equals 11x. Subtract 5x from both sides. You'll get negative 6 equals 6x, and divide by 6. That's divide by 6. You get x is negative 1, which is what it says. So this would be B, A, C, B for 4, 5, and 6. See if I can do a couple others before I save this video. Find the length of a rectangular lot with a perimeter of 112. So we have a rectangular lot. The perimeter is 112. That's what we would get if we were to add up all 4 sides, perimeter. And the length is 6 more than the width. So I'm going to call this shorter side the width and the longer side the length. The length is 6 more. So if I make the width x, then the length would be x plus 6. And the question says find the length. So be careful. When you find x, you haven't found your answer. They want you to find the length. So perimeter, if you don't know, the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So for this particular problem, I know that the perimeter is 112. That'd be 2 times the length, which is x plus 6, plus 2 times the width, which is x. And I need to solve this. And I get 112 equals, that'd be 2x plus, distributing here, 12 plus 2x. That would be, I'm going to go up here, 112 equals 4x plus 12. Subtract 12. I get 100 equals 4x. Divide by 4. I get that x is 25. So x is 25. That means the width would be 25. And the length would be 25 plus 6, which is 31. And let's see, if I had 25 and 31, and another 25 over here, and another 31 up here, if I were to add those up, 25 plus 31 plus 25 plus 31, I would get 112. So that works out. They want to know what is the length. Find the length. So the length is longer than the width. The length is 31 meters. All right, I'm going to pause this video right here, and I'll pick back up with another one pretty soon.